Hey, everybody, it's the coach.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, it's an AFC North matchup between our visitors and the Toronto Mounties. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. They'll be led out by the final pick of the first round in 2018 out of Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting on a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing is Jackson. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 2nd down, it's Hines. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complement.
Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So they get the ball on the opening drive. They take it in for the score.
And how about setting the tone right away? Everyone talks about wanting to do that, but you always hear it in every locker room. First 5 minutes of the game, who's going to set the tone? Who's going to take control? Guess who just did?
Well, now on the next drive, when you score that quickly or you're scored that quickly against, probably feel like you need to respond.
Yeah, without a doubt. In other words, you've actually put the pressure even more so on your opponent.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh. Hey, Sam on.
On first down. It's Taylor. And, his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs. First time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there's no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Here's Jackson to throw again. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. Give him 2 yards on that play, and just like that, it's 3rd down. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely. a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive with a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Complete to Bryant. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. They'll set up a throw. And that's complete. It's Green here. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're open to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll run on 1st down. Hines, he'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early. If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yes.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. 2nd and 5. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
He'll drop to throw. Able to find Switzer. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. He's got Green. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. This will be their first trip to the red zone. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. The 20. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They'll look to throw. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll bring up 4th down.
A short.
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now it's Hines. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. There'll be some contact going on.
To throw is Jackson. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab as the Ravens push further out in front. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Well, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Here's 2nd and 8. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
How you put it? Too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
He may try and run for this. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Let's go now. Kick the oar. You ain't going nowhere. Hey, I hit it.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, Duncan. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. This is caught inside the 15. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he will take it in for the touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And that's a critical touchdown. I don't want to be too hyperbolic or whatever, but they needed some points on the board before halftime.
They certainly did, and, you know, it's not going to erase everything that happened in the first half. Look, they got outplayed. There's no question about that. But now it gives them a chance to regroup, feel a little bit better about themselves. And how many games have we done where we've seen everything flip when another half begins? And by the way, did you say hyperbolic?
I did. Thank you. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, like I said, he's looked pretty good to this point. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They run with Taylor, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
56, check 56.
Now a give, right side. It's Taylor. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Off the play fake. Duncan. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football. Oftentimes, we praise the offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team is playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. This quarterback now 4 of 6 since taking over, and he's got a 1st down. Back to throw. Duncan. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
56 the mic, boys. 56. Check 56. They're not ready for this, man. Hey, Haywood. Go.
To throw on 3rd down. Duncan. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They run with Hines. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 2nd and 5 now. Jackson over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here's the home side to take over on offense. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Nyheim Hines, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side, because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Ready? 40's up. 40's up. 40's up. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Shoot.
On 3rd down, Taylor. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Welcome back to Toronto. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Duncan finding Green complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Duncan. Green brings it in. 19 yards there on the catch and run. On 1st and 10, Duncan. He'll get this one to Switzer. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to.
Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
On the ground with Hill to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards on that one, and a Raven 1st.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first down, it's Hines. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On the stop that time, it was Josie Jewell. On second down now, it's Hines. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 7 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
That's complete right around the 8. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. He's at the 50. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. He can really smell 800 catches right now because that last one puts him at 799, knocking on the door. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. His big time. Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
60 out ball. Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Go.
To throw again. Duncan. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. On fourth down, Duncan. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off.
Well, you're trailing. It's the fourth quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Jackson from the shotgun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The man wreaking havoc there, Gerald McCoy, the D tackle. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Looking to throw. Duncan. Forced out, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.